And carry. Count out the Patriots at your own peril. You can ask the Falcons about that. Anyway, let's do this. Here we go.
Okay.
We going coast to coast. We going coast to coast.
The Patriots lose and frustrations boil over. Can New England overcome its mediocre offense? So Baltimore's now atop the AFC. Ryan Clark breaks down the Ravens' epic drive to salt away a win. Plus, Luke and the Mavs take down LA. We go inside the showdown between two generations of superstar.
Sports Center, coast to coast. It's where you come when you want the most. Every city, every state and time. Get ready, we about to break it down.
Big trust. And I'll open it up for questions.
The comedic stylings.
Big trust. Woo, woo. What's up, D. Lloyd?
Ryan Clark is here.
We bought that.
Yes. So the top seeds in the NFC and the AFC both lost yesterday. Besides that, nothing happened in Week 13. Let's dive right in. There's Tom and Deshaun, the Patriots and the Texans in the Kevlar vests.
The boys came in like, G unit.
The linebacker's ready to go. Brady, he's picked by Bradley Roby. What happened here?
Bradley Roby came fresh off a hamstring right into an interception. Beats N'Keal Harry inside. Tom Brady thought he would win. Interception for the Texans. They got it going early.
He thought his receivers would win all night, and they didn't. There's Duke Johnson from Watson. So the turnover cost the Patriots 7. Let's go to the second quarter. Ensuing Pats possession. Brady looking for Jacoby Myers. You see the little hand signal right there. Go, go, go deep. He doesn't.
Yeah, Brady hasn't worked with these guys a lot. Jacoby Myers is a rookie, undrafted free agent, and he's used to guys. Starting to see more of the college offenses enter the NFL with some of these dynamic QBs. That was another example.
All right, third quarter now. They go for it on 4th and inches, and they throw to Sanu, and he can't hold on.
This is a great play by Zach Cunningham. He comes off, gets the bump on Mohamed Sanu, makes the throw a little errant. Jonathan Joseph's able to finish.
On the broadcast, they said it could have been pass interference there because the ball might have been in the air. It wasn't called, so they turn it over, and then Watson buying time, chucking deep for Kenny Stills in the end zone.
Every now and then, Deshaun Watson gets into trying to outplay the other quarterback. He didn't do that last night.
Okay, it's 21-9 at that point, and then the play that everyone's talking about, the touchdown pass from DeAndre Hopkins.
South Lafourche, Louisiana. The wing T is back. Listen, this is a reverse option back to the quarterback that ended up being a forward pass to the quarterback. When you pull out all the stops, that's what you got to do to beat the Patriots.
Bill Bryant said the players actually came up with that, Watson and the rest of those guys. Now, the Pats get something going late. It's Brady to Edelman. It's a 6-point game after the PAT, so we got to get an onside kick here, and they came pretty close to pulling this off.
Before this weekend, onside kicks seemed impossible. We watched the Atlanta Falcons recover 3 against the Saints, and the Patriots had an opportunity there.
Not a real warm handshake between the Bills. The Texans win. Here's Belichick.
There's really not a whole lot to say here. The Texans did a good job tonight all the way across the board. In every area, they were just better than we were tonight.
You can make a bunch of predictions and so forth, but that's not what it's about. It's about going out there and doing it. And a lot of guys made some plays tonight, and try to build on it and see if we can do better next week. So thank you guys.
That was the final one, Stacy.
Last dismissed. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Oof. That was rough, right? Another bad offensive game for the Pats. Another frustrating day in the office for Brady, as we could just see there. How does this struggling offense affect their defense last night, Ryan?
Listen, if you look at this team, they've won games playing great defensive football. But when the 2 times they played against dynamic quarterbacks and this offense couldn't get things going, it put much too much pressure on this defense. If you watched last night, wide receivers couldn't get open. There was no separation. They were completely dominated by Romeo Crennel, adding 1 extra defensive back to the package to match up against these offensive players. And now as a defense, you start to play more pressure. You start to come off with 0 blitzes, and you gave Deshaun Watson's easy opportunities against man-to-man coverage to pick you apart. Deshaun Watson took what was given to him by the defense very early on in the game, and then when they needed to sell out because Tom Brady couldn't produce points offensively, they were put in bad positions against very talented wide receivers of the Houston Texans. If this offense can't get it going, we're going to see more of this down the stretch because they will play more dynamic offenses and quarterbacks, starting with Patrick Mahomes this week in the Kansas City Chiefs.
They got to be more explosive. David Lloyd on the lip reading.
I mean,
Meanwhile, with
Tom
the loss,
Brady said it. It wasn't me.
The Ravens are now top dog in the AFC standings with Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, who hosted the 49ers yesterday. I know you saw that. To the highlight we go. 9-2 Ravens hosting 10-1 49ers. It was a rainy day at M&T Bank Stadium. Whoop, whoop. You're supposed to help me out with that, Ryan.
My bad. Meet me outside the bank. Whoop, whoop.
Okay, good. Garoppolo. He finds Salmon for a touchdown. Was that easy money?
No, listen, this is basically a Hail Mary. He threw it up on 4th down. This is a great play by Deebo Samuel, and we're emulating the Lamar.
No. Yeah, we're emulating the Lamar, but guess what? They'll get an opportunity to do that as well. We got San Francisco turnover, Baltimore driving, Jackson off play action, finds Andrews for a 20-yard touchdown. Game is tied.
Do we have some more? Is this the Nick Bosa? Yo!
You know what? You guys are rude. They're very rude, aren't they? I love it, though.
This is the thing. NFL players are getting more and more petty. They just will not let things go.
Yeah, no, and I'm here for all the petty LaBelle. All right, here we are. Jackson keeps it on the read option. This was nice. 7-yard game. What do you see?
Speaking of not letting things go, right here, Nick Bosa takes the dive, and he leaves his homeboy out to dry. Lamar Jackson might as well step over him like AI stepped over Tyronn Lue.
Okay, you thought about that one. Jackson keeps on the read option, takes it in, untouched. How is he untouched, Ryan?
Listen, this is about the read option. He knows when to pull the ball. This is something he's done since high school. Worked well yesterday in the rain.
All right, Ravens lead 14-7. Garoppolo throws, but it's batted away. 49ers turn it over on downs. So here we go. Jackson. He has been good, has he not? How does he not get hurt, Ryan?
Hey, he's been amazing. He doesn't really take hard hits. When you're as slippery as he is, as athletic, you find ways to get down before you can take those big hits. But it was the big throws like this to Andrews that kept this drive going for 6 minutes and 28 seconds.
Man, they had him in there. Jackson keeps it, picks it up the first down one more time. So I heard earlier, before we even get to it, Matt Tuck. I tried to say that joke, Matt Tuck. You get what I'm saying there?
I absolutely understand what you're saying. Mark Ingram came up with that, and this dude is Matt Tuck. Whenever you are comfortable kicking a 49-yarder like that in those kind of conditions, you know you have a guy.
Ravens win 2017. Here is someone talking about Tucker. Tucker himself.
Listen, Tuck is the GOAT. He's Matt Tuck. Of course, we'd like to finish that, get him closer, but I know he gonna be money with it.
I feel like in the spirit of my teammates who have been up here to talk to you guys the last few weeks, I should say something like real inspiring, like big trust, and I'll open it up for questions.
You live for those moments, don't you?
Absolutely. I think, we all do. I think this whole team is living in the moment for these moments, and it's a really special group. I'm just happy to be a part of it. I'm blessed.
The Ravens play keep away for the last 6.5 minutes and then give it to the most accurate kicker in NFL history. A 12-play, 34-yard drive, which sounds impossible.
I know, right?
How do you only get 34 yards in 12 plays? But it worked. What did you make of what they did there at the end?
It was about efficiency, but more importantly, it was about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has made the NFL college football. It's about Heisman moments, and this is one of those moments. Every play that needed to be made, Lamar Jackson was able to make it. He made the pinpoint accurate throws when he needed to. He also got the inches that were needed to get first downs. When you see some of these side-on things, some of the accuracy that he showed in this type of clutch moments, these were the things we needed to see from Lamar Jackson. There were so many things being said about them not ever having to come back, not facing adverse situations where he had to pass the ball and be the focal point of winning a game for this offense. And he was yesterday against the best team from the NFC, a great defense in terrible conditions. Lamar Jackson showed that he's more than just a runner.
Right. It wasn't glitz and highlights.
Absolutely.
It was just they grounded out against a really good football team. So they've gone through this murderer's row. Seahawks and Patriots and Texans and Niners and Rams. Next up, the 9-3 Bills in Buffalo. So that should be fun as well. Baltimore on an 8-game winning streak atop the AFC. Ryan is coming back a little bit later. Carrie, back to you.
All right, guess who we have?
Hey, what's good?
NBA.
Yes.
Analyst.
Matt Tuck.
Yes, Matt Tuck. You got it.
I got it.
We're talking some basketball. Clippers, they're good, just in case you didn't know. So we'll show you why they're so good. They're actually hosting the Wizards. And this is just a few hours after the Lakers played at Staples, so it was a busy day down there. First quarter's Clippers up 6. Paul George, he misses the jumper, but Patrick Beverley is there doing the work, the dirty work that he does. Passes it back to George.
Ooh.
And what we see here.
We see a cone drill. We do this as kids, but Paul George, he's a rhythm off the bounce scorer, and that's what you do. You go to one cone behind the back, one cone between the legs. That's why you practice, kids.
That's why in the bench loved it.
Hey,
Clearly.
give me that.
Late
Like
second
burning.
quarter. Clippers up 72-51. Beverly again. Dirty work still.
Yeah. Paul George, when he's healthy finally, and everyone's in the mood, even Steve Ballmer, but it takes like 2 years for you to find yourself after injury.
You're right.
It's been a couple years after that, we're seeing the best version of Paul George.
He's at his point. He had 27 in the first half, so Kawhi Leonard loses the ball. This is nice, but guess what? He gets it back, kicks it out to Patterson. Patterson misses this three, but watch this. I got it. Don't worry, man. I'm up. I got myself.
We learned in Toronto he's a one-man team at times. His hands are mitts.
All right.
Suction cups.
Leonard finished with 34. George had 31. Clippers win 150-125. That's a lot of points. Speaking of that, I'll explain what it all means. The Clippers scored 150 points against the Wizards, with only 4 players reaching double figures. So, according to Elias, it was just the 5th time in NBA history a team scored 150 points with only 4 players reaching 10. And the first time it's happened since the Seattle Supersonics did it back in Seattle Supersonics.
I know. Was I born?
No, 1989.
Neither were you, for the record.
No, I was not, for the record. Earlier that day, I told you the Lakers did play in Staples. So what happened there? They did not score 150, but we shall get to it. Luka and the Mavs in LA with LeBron James and the Lakers. We've been doing the Luka-LeBron comparison.
We have.
Early on, Luka, cross-court pass stolen by a guy named LeBron who gives it to KCP. And what happens?
Oh, shut down. I mean, the first half, the Lakers looked scary. Transition game going, scoring in the paint at will.
Yeah, Luka had 4 turnovers in the first half. Wasn't what he was doing. Lakers lead by 3 at the half. LeBron and Davis combined for 35 points. But, well, guess what? Lakers were outscored by the Mavs. And how did that happen? This guy right here. Luka would bounce back in third. Mavericks lead 68-64. What a nice dunk!
I mean, when you're struggling, you need to see a shot go down to get going, and that's the best version of momentum slam.
All right, so he's just blown by everyone. He's doing what he does best. I'm kicking it out. We got Dorian Finney-Smith for a 3. Next possession, Luka's everywhere. Step back over Danny Green. So how was he feeling it this second half?
Well, second half, he felt like this was his court. You know, what's that quote? You want your idols to become your rivals? That's the matchup between LeBron and Luka. Great court awareness by Kristaps right here to knock down the 3. Like a true unicorn he is behind the arc.
Wait a second. You want your idols to become your rivals?
Yes.
All right.
That's a bar.
All right, that is a bar. Lakers lose 114-100.
Mike Powell, Stanford.
Luka scored or assisted on 11 of 17 points in the streak and had 16 points in that quarter. Impressive, Luka. All right, so Chiney, we've asked this question before. You were actually, in my opinion, I'm going to give you this prop. You were the first person to me really to break down the Luka-LeBron comparison. But when you watched Luka yesterday, how was he able to attack the Lakers offensively?
Yeah, Luka, he's just different. He's lethal, especially going left. What makes a good point guard great is not having a weak hand, your non-dom hand, and also not having a weak side of the floor. Now, Luka's right-handed, but he's just as good setting up offense going off his left. According to Second Spectrum, Luka has the most points, 212 going left on drives this season. That drive right there opened up Pandora's box. Here's another possession where you see Luka going left. Again, most left drive points per possession at 1.41 per possession. That's on Anthony Davis. This one's on Danny Green. A great, excellent transition defender. That's his patented step back. And again, look at him. He just sizes people up. He's using his left hand. This is the shot of the night on LeBron. Again, make your idols your rivals.
Okay,
and I've said it before, international players have a different cadence to their game. Luka definitely has this. He also, like, the best compliment you can get as a hooper is, man, she got 2 right hands or she got 2 left hands.
Right.
Luka's left is so good in setting up his moves, and that's why he's great. He doesn't have a weak side of the floor. He doesn't have a weak hand, and he can knock down tough shots.
You know what? I was getting ready to say that. His cadence is different.
Cadence.
Yeah.
Our cadence is different.
Okay, here we go.
little
Dodgers,
different.
25-5 for the 15th straight game because his cadence is different. Tied for the 4th best streak since the NBA-ABA merger. Thank you so much, Sinead Gumake. David, back to you.
Okay, Carrie, still coming up, the Chiefs stomp the Raiders, taking control of the AFC West. We know about Patrick Mahomes. Do we need to reconsider this Chiefs defense? We'll get into that. Jason Garrett speaking today. Somehow the Cowboys are still in the driver's seat to host a playoff game in January. Plus, why left is coming up right for Kirk Cousins. Minnesota's secret weapon is a threat to Seahawks.